Welcome everyone to Curiosity Uncovered. My name's Harley and today we are going to be sliding into some of the Winter Olympic sliding sports and learning a little bit about their science. So right now in Milano Cortina is where the Winter Olympics are being held, and there's thousands of athletes there and a bunch of different sports, but today we're focusing on the sliding sports. They're super exciting to watch and they're very, very thrilling and also very scary if you are not well trained and understand the science of it. So we're going to dive into the science a little bit today about them. But first, let's talk about the sliding sports because you may not be thinking about what is a sliding sport. So first over here we have the luge. The luge sport, they start in a seated position in their sleigh, so to say, their sleigh, and they hold onto a piece of pole, they slide back and forth to gain that momentum, and then they're going to fly forward. For luge, there is men's singles, women's singles, doubles, and a team relay. For the bobsled, this is the one you're probably most familiar with, the way that it looks, especially with 4 people that are in it. The bobsled and the bobsleigh is typically a team sport with 4 people in it. In the Olympics, they have the 4-man race, they have the 2-man, they have the 2-woman, and then this year, they also have the women's monobob. So there's one woman in there that does all of the controlling, like usual. And then over here, we probably have the most intimidating one, for my opinion, and this is called the skeleton. In the skeleton, they do not start on their belly. They do not start sitting down. They start standing next to their sleigh. They run with their sleigh, and then they dive onto it to go headfirst into the icy track. Terrifying. All of these go extremely fast. They can go starting at 80 miles an hour at their fastest speed down their track. And some of them, like the skeleton, can even get up to 90. They go really, really fast. So the first thing in terms of our science concept that we're going to talk about amongst all of these 3 and what all of these 3 have to have is something called energy. Energy is the ability to do work. And there is this thing called the conservation of energy. And in energy, you can think of lots of different types of energy and some forms of energy. There's a bunch of types. There's light, there's heat, there's thermal, there's electrical, chemical, but we're going to focus on the forms of energy for this one, which are potential energy and kinetic energy, mainly gravitational potential energy. So here we have our little ramps in some cars. If I have this little car right here and I hold it up nice and high at the top, by the time it gets down here, it's going to be going fast. It's going to be going super duper fast. If I were to put it at the top of this ramp though and roll it down, which one do you think is going to be going faster by the time it gets to the bottom? It's going to be the taller one because it has more gravitational potential energy than this one and even this one. So this one, we'll just do a little test. Hold up here, hold up here. Let's see which one flies off the end first. The blue, because it had more gravitational potential energy up at the top. So energy and that conservation of energy is very, very important with these sports here. They're getting all of their momentum at the very beginning of their race. And then when they go down that icy track and they're swerving around, they're not able to get any more of it. It's all being taken with them, converted into that kinetic energy. So our luge over here, all the energy they can potentially get is from when they're rocking at the very, very beginning. For the bobsled, all their energy that they're able to sort of potentially and store is at the beginning when they're on the sides and they're running and then they get in. And then same for our skeleton. Running is where they're getting all that energy. They're sliding on and then they just have to hope that they can make it down as quickly as possible. So if you're faster, it helps. And if you are very small, that also helps, which brings us to our next topic, which focuses a little bit on the aerodynamics. What we're going to talk about with this is something called air drag. So air drag is what is going to be pushing against you as you move. Air is a force coming back at you. So if you have all of this kinetic energy that you're using to go downhill and you have your arms up in the air or your head sticking out or you're not as small as you potentially can be, there's going to be more air force and more air molecules that are going to hit you on your way down. So it's going to reduce your speed and it's going to slow you down significantly. So it's very important that you stay really small. So the luge athletes stay on their back and they try to stay as flat as possible. They do have to put their head up so that they can see the track, because also in the luge sport, they control their bodies by just slight little movements, which we're gonna get into in just a little bit. For our bobsled, same with these guys right here, or even our women, their heads are not sticking up like that at all. This is just a good representation of what it looks like in there. Their heads are going to be like almost in like a little line all together. Very small, very smooth, very aerodynamic. And then same with our skeleton over here. Nice low head to the ground, like inches away from the terrifying ice, and then keeping those feet and your body just as flat as possible. So now let's talk about their steering and precision, which is where all the real skill is. Everything beforehand, the aerodynamics, the air drag, the gravitational potential energy, that's all physics, okay? This is where the real skill of the athletes come in, and that's how they're going to steer it. For our luge, they're going to flex their sled right here on the end and shift their bodies to make really small micro adjustments as they go down the track. Also, the track is not straight. The track turns and winds and has these big round turns that they have to be able to make and make the shortest path possible. Now, our bobsled here, they have pilots and they steer with cables that the front runners are going to adjust to turn the blades slightly. Now, none of them are really cranking it super hard. It's all these micro adjustments. They also have these D-rings that connect to the ropes that turn the front runners. So they're steering on the inside and then the rings turn it on the outside. And then over here, our skeleton. This is my favorite one. The skeleton and the sliders actually don't have any steering at all. They are laying on their belly and they are just slightly turning it so that they can move around those turns. And you can kind of see it here a little bit. He's leaning more a little bit on his right side, and then this left side is raised just ever so slightly. You don't ever want to do too much or you're going to tip over, and you're going 80 miles an hour down the ice. So that's very scary. Now, for any of these athletes to stop, they really just have to stick their feet in the ice, especially for our luge and our skeleton ones. The bobsled is not as hard because they have those D-rings to sort of help them, but they're going 80 miles an hour and they have to physically stop themselves on the ice. Very scary. I encourage everyone to watch this. All of this science and all of this athletic ability that they have is very, very important. But what is more important is their mental athletic ability and understanding and visualizing where these turns are so that they don't have to think about it so much and they can just think about doing the job. So a lot of these athletes will visualize what the track looks like and visualize those movements when they're turning down the hill so they don't have to think too hard about it. In short, all of these winter sports are amazing. The sliding sports are one of the coolest to watch next to the snowboarders and all that fun stuff. But the sliding sports really takes in a lot of science, that potential energy, the aerodynamics, the precision, that mental focus you have to be an Olympic athlete is really inspiring and very cool. So I encourage everybody to go turn on those Winter Olympics, watch them, learn a little bit about them, and maybe the next time you are experiencing winter, maybe here, who knows, next year maybe, we can try out some of these sports or do some of the more fun ones like skiing and snowboarding. So thank you all for watching. See you next time.